We're back with another episode of A to Z in CC. Hi everyone, I'm Cassidy Harris, Public Relations Manager, and today we're going to spend time with County Administration where we talk to the County Manager, learn more about their office, the support role that they offer the Board of Commissioners, and you, the residents. Let's go inside and learn a little bit more. Joining me today is County Manager Scott Johnson, and we want to talk to you about County Administration, who comprises the team, what we do, and just answer some of the questions that we've received from you, the residents. So Scott, to begin with, if you would talk to us about who is in County Administration.
So County Administration is made up of me, the County Manager, then I have two Deputy County Managers, and each oversees kind of half of the house, so to speak. And then I have an assistant to the county manager who provides my executive support, manages my calendar, those sort of things. But then she also manages projects on behalf of county management and on behalf of the county. Certainly our public relations team, you, a direct report to the county manager's office and county administration. And Chris is on your team. And then we have our county clerk and our deputy clerk who really support the commission more, but it's all part of county management. So that's the basic team, I think, in county administration.
Right, and you kind of touched on it, the clerk, and they kind of fall up under the Board of Commissioners, but can you talk about our relationship with the Board of Commissioners and the support role that we offer?
Yeah, so I think a lot of people really don't understand that the Board of Commissioners, while they are our elected body and we have to abide by the wishes of the Board of Commissioners, they all have full-time jobs, right? So they're part-time in their roles. Our chairman, Doug Duncan, is part-time here. He spends a lot of time here, as do all of our commissioners. But in their capacity, they're here to approve things, approve the budget, to set policy and those sort of things. But then county management has responsibility of making sure that that's carried out day to day. So really it's more like a board of directors, and then we are the CEO, the COO, the CFO, the people that carry out the day-to-day functions. And then you mentioned the clerks. The clerks support the Board of Commission on their side, but then work very closely with county management.
Right, and I know a lot of times we get public records requests. Could you speak more to their responsibilities?
As far as the basic government operations of the county, the Board of Commissioners oversees that piece of it. And then the clerk of the Board of Commissioners, which in our case is Patrice Crawley, and she is our clerk, and then Renee Peliquin is our deputy clerk. They handle really all of the behind the scenes documents for the Board of Commissioners. So that means agendas. That means, you mentioned public records requests. Those kind of things. People, when you call the commission office, you're probably going to speak to one of them first because they are the front lines and they are the people that are between, I guess, the public and the Board of Commissioners. So they fulfill those open records requests. They do the research necessary. They post the minutes after the meeting. They make sure all our resolutions are up to date, that our code is up to date. And anything the Board of Commission passes, they make sure that that's codified into the law. So, nothing slips through the cracks. So very important, really an important piece of how government functions is what the clerks do.
So you're kind of knee deep into the budget right now, planning for the next year, and the deputy county managers also support that. Can you talk about the budget and what all goes into that from your perspective?
Yeah, so we're required by code to present a balanced budget to the Board of Commissioners for their approval. They are very involved in the process, as are the rest of the elected officials. We begin that budget process each year in January. We do use a zero-based budgeting method here in Columbia County. And what that means is you don't start with what you had last year and just add some or take some away. You really start at zero and work your way up. So there are many years where Columbia County's budget in a particular department may have been a little less than it was the year before by using that method. So we start in January. We have a series of budget meetings with all of our department heads, with all of our elected officials. And then we start at zero and we work our way up. And then when we get to a point where we feel like, okay, that's the budget we need, we look at revenues and then we make the necessary adjustments. So it's about a 4 or 5 month process to do a budget the size of ours in Columbia County. But we're extremely fiscally conservative here. We want to make sure that every dollar goes to the right place. So there are a lot of eyes on it. But we let the departments let us know what they need.
And also, in addition to that, you spoke to public relations and the communications that we have with our residents. That's very important to us. We want to be transparent with them. There are many ways that people can get in contact with us. So is there anything that you would want to share with the residents regarding how we communicate, what we would want them to do as far as if they need information from us, from your standpoint?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you have to get engaged. You know, it's a little disheartening for me to have a very important issue come before the Board of Commissioners and look out in the audience and there's very few residents there. So I would say get engaged. And if you can't make it to the meetings, you know, now we live stream our meetings, go back and watch those meetings. You guys do a great job of putting stuff out on social media. And a lot of people get their news from social media. You know, so I think we can be a trusted news source. If it's coming from you and your team, you know that people should know that you're speaking on behalf of the county and where we are and exactly what we're doing. So you're answering questions in real time, but really just get engaged. You know, come to the meetings, follow us on social media, and then as always, if somebody has a question, this is a burning question, they really don't know the answer, instead of giving somebody else false information, just give us a call or come by.
Is there anything else that you feel residents should know from a day in the life or from the county administration office?
Yeah, you know, I think the biggest thing about the day in the life is I never know what my day is going to be. You know, I live by calendar, and I have lots of meetings and lots of things on that calendar, but I can come in on any particular day thinking that I'm just going to follow my calendar, and the next thing I know, I'm moving meetings or things are getting canceled, or, you know, we have a crisis in the county. Lord forbid we have a hurricane, and that just throws us off for weeks or maybe even months, and all the things that you were going to do, you don't get to do before. So, you know, I think a lot of jobs are like that, and people, you know, in their walks of life, whatever their occupation is, it may feel the same way. But certainly in my job, I think that's probably the biggest thing is having to be flexible, having to respond to things on a moment's notice, you know, stopping everything to deal with a constituent issue. You know, we do that on a pretty regular basis. We try to be proactive. We try to stay ahead of things the best we can. It just doesn't always work that way. So, yeah, it's a pretty big task, but we have an amazing team. One of the big things that I did when I came here as a county manager, probably the first thing I worked on, and it's something that I think is carried out, was working on our culture, our employee culture, and what we expect from our employees, and how we take care of our citizens and take care of their expectations, and what is our desire, where do we set the bar for the county. So I kind of came in early in my tenure as county manager to set those expectations and to create a culture, and luckily for me, people have really bought into that. So now we can really operate at this high level all the time. So nowadays I probably spend more time protecting the culture than I do actually doing the work. It's really just that important.
Right. Well, we appreciate your time. Of course, we appreciate your leadership, and hopefully that gives you a better understanding of what we do here in county administration and what the county manager and his team's responsible for. So we appreciate you joining us today, and until next time, we'll see you then.